The flight turned chaotic when an elderly woman, displaying prejudiced behavior, repeatedly provoked a black man, unaware of his true identity. What followed left her in utter shock and stunned the entire cabin of passengers. This story is not only a profound lesson in composure and integrity, but also a stark reminder of the damaging consequences of prejudice and disrespect toward others. Join us as we uncover the dramatic twists and powerful human message behind this tale. Don't forget to share where you're watching from and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories. The morning sun streamed through the glass panels of the Chicago airport, brightening the gate area for a flight to San Francisco. Passengers began boarding, each carrying a mix of emotions, excitement, anxiety, or simply the anticipation of a long journey. Among them was Andre Bennett, a Homeland Security officer traveling undercover for an assignment. Dressed casually in jeans, a navy hoodie, and sneakers, Andre blended seamlessly into the crowd. Andre preferred to avoid drawing attention, especially during work-related trips. Years of experience had taught him to stay under the radar, observing quietly without revealing his true identity. Today was no different. Andre found his seat by the window, removed his earbuds, and gazed out at the tarmac. To him, this was just another flight before the real task began. However, his peace didn't last long. From the front of the cabin, a sharp voice rang out. "What kind of seat is this? I paid for first class, and this is what I get." Andre glanced up, looking toward the source of the commotion. A woman in her 60s with impeccably styled silver hair and a vibrant purple scarf stood in the aisle, her face contorted in dissatisfaction. This was Eleanor Hawthorne, a woman who would soon become the focal point of the unfolding drama. Andre observed quietly as Eleanor continued her tirade, demanding adjustments to the air conditioning, better seat padding, and an immediate glass of water, no ice. Another demanding passenger, one flight attendant murmured to her colleague as they passed Andre's row. Andre offered a faint smile but remained silent. He had encountered many people like Eleanor in his line of work, those who carried an air of entitlement and sought to dominate any situation. As the plane taxied down the runway, Andre tried to immerse himself in his book, but Eleanor's voice cut through the cabin again. "What do you mean you don't have gluten-free snacks? This airline is outrageous." Her complaints drew exasperated glances from nearby passengers. Andre shook his head slightly, hoping the situation would resolve itself. Little did he know, Eleanor's behavior was about to take a personal turn. Andre decided to stretch after an hour in his seat. As he stood and extended his arms, he caught Eleanor's disapproving gaze. She inhaled sharply before speaking, her voice dripping with disdain. "Do you think you can just get up whenever you please? People like you are always disturbing others." Andre froze momentarily, startled by the pointed remark. "Excuse me," he said politely, his brow furrowed in confusion. "You heard me," Eleanor snapped, her chin tilted upward. "People like you think you can do whatever you want, wherever you want. It's disruptive." The phrase, "people like you," hung heavily in the air, causing nearby passengers to glance over. Some whispered to each other, while others pretended not to notice. Andre, drawing on his training, remained composed. "Ma'am, I was simply stretching my legs. I didn't mean to disturb anyone." Eleanor crossed her arms, her tone sharp. "That's what they all say. You're just causing trouble, and I won't stand for it." A young woman named Clara, seated a few rows behind, began recording the interaction on her phone. Clara had watched Eleanor's behavior throughout the flight and decided it was time to document the situation. Her son, no older than 7, tugged at her sleeve and asked, "Mom, is that man okay?" Clara patted his head gently. "He's fine. Sweetie, don't worry." Her son's question prompted Andre to smile faintly despite the tension. "I'm okay. Thank you for asking," he said softly, his calm demeanor unwavering. The boy's innocent question seemed to momentarily shift the mood in the cabin, eliciting smiles from a few passengers. But Eleanor was undeterred. She leaned forward and pointed an accusatory finger at Andre. "Don't think your politeness fools anyone. I know your type, always pretending to be innocent while causing trouble." As Eleanor's voice grew louder, Clara's frustration boiled over. Setting her phone down momentarily, she addressed Eleanor directly. "Ma'am, I think you need to stop. He hasn't done anything wrong." Eleanor turned sharply toward Clara, her glare icy. "And what do you know? Mind your own business." Nearby, a man named William, seated across the aisle, chimed in. "Actually, it's everyone's business now. Your behavior is out of line. Leave the man alone." Eleanor's eyes widened in indignation. "Out of line? I'm protecting this flight. Who knows what he's planning?" The tension reached a boiling point. Passengers exchanged uneasy glances, unsure whether to intervene or let the situation play out. Andre, still standing, decided to speak. "Ma'am, I don't want any trouble. Let's just return to our seats and finish this flight in peace." Eleanor scoffed, her tone dripping with sarcasm. "Oh, how noble of you. But I'm not fooled." At that moment, Emily, the lead flight attendant, approached with a firm but professional demeanor. "Ma'am, I need you to calm down and return to your seat. You're disrupting the cabin." Eleanor's voice rose again. "Disrupting? I'm trying to protect us. If you won't act, I will." Emily's expression hardened. "This is your final warning. If you continue, we'll have to involve security upon landing." Eleanor huffed but reluctantly sat down, muttering under her breath. The cabin's atmosphere remained tense, but the immediate confrontation had subsided. As the plane touched down in San Francisco, passengers began gathering their belongings, eager to disembark. However, Eleanor had other plans. Ignoring the seatbelt sign, she stood and marched toward the front of the plane, loudly demanding to speak with the captain. Emily intercepted her, maintaining her composure. "Ma'am, you need to remain seated until the plane has come to a complete stop." Eleanor pointed back toward Andre. "He needs to be removed and searched. I won't step off this plane until it's done." Captain Marcus Hayes emerged from the cockpit, his presence commanding. "What seems to be the issue here?" he asked, his voice calm but firm. Eleanor launched into her accusations, but Captain Hayes quickly silenced her. "Ma'am, I've been briefed by my crew. We've seen no evidence of any threat. Your behavior, however, has caused significant disruption." Security personnel boarded moments later. Addressing both Eleanor and Andre, Andre calmly presented his credentials, revealing his identity as a Homeland Security officer. The security team immediately apologized and turned to Eleanor. "Ma'am, we need to escort you off the plane for questioning." Eleanor's face turned pale. As she was led away, the remaining passengers erupted in applause, some offering Andre words of support. One man shook his hand. "Thank you for staying calm. You handled that better than most of us could have." Andre nodded graciously. Sometimes, calmness speaks louder than words. The incident quickly went viral. Clara's video, shared online, garnered millions of views. Comments poured in, praising Andre's composure and condemning Eleanor's behavior. Eleanor, now facing public scrutiny, issued a statement of apology, admitting her actions were driven by unfounded biases. Meanwhile, Andre returned to his work, unaffected by the attention. For him, it wasn't about recognition but about treating others with dignity, no matter the circumstances. This story is a powerful reminder that integrity and composure can shine even in the most challenging situations. What would you have done if you were in Andre's position? Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that inspire and enlighten.